Around 2 weeks ago, INKEE sent me this gimbal, the INKEE Falcon 3-axis action camera gimbal. At the moment, I'm using it with my GoPro HERO9 Black with the HyperSmooth stabilization completely turned off, so you can get an overall idea on how good the performance is with this gimbal. But so far, I really like it. It's compact, small, easy to use, and the stabilization performance is actually better than I expected. Now let me show you what you get in the box with the INKEE Falcon gimbal. So this is the gimbal. As you can see, it's very compact and portable, pretty much perfect for action cameras like the GoPro. Build quality is great. This bottom part in here built out of plastic. This mini tripod as well is built out of plastic, but premium plastic. And this top part is built out of metal. Everything feels very premium and very solid. Let's take a look at the buttons and ports. Here we have a joystick to move the gimbal around. We have a mode button, and we also have a power on off button. On the side we have a couple of buttons to control certain action cameras. I know you can connect this gimbal to the GoPro and then connect the GoPro with the gimbal with these buttons. Then here we have a button to flip the gimbal around when needed, and also to lock the gimbal. If you're going to hold this button, the gimbal is basically going to lock. And here on the side we have the USB Type-C port to charge the gimbal. You can also control this gimbal within the INKEE Falcon application that's right here. Very simple to use. Just connect to the gimbal and then you'll be able to control the gimbal, change modes, update the firmware if needed, and change motor response, working mode, and so on. Like I said, this gimbal is designed for action cameras. As you can see, there is a GoPro action camera mount. You can use any action camera pretty much, GoPro, Insta360, DJI Osmo Action, or whatever other action camera on the market. Here you also have a bolt, and with this bolt you'll be able to move the camera left and right for perfect balance. The maximum payload for this gimbal is 135 grams. So if you're going to use something like the GoPro HERO9 with the GoPro Media mode attached and maybe an external microphone, do know that maybe this gimbal won't be able to support all this weight. Now, why use a gimbal if something like the GoPro HERO9 has already great image stabilization built in? That's a good question, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Reason number one, gimbal stabilization should always provide better results than digital stabilization. Now, it doesn't really mean that gimbal stabilization is going to be more stable, but it's definitely going to look much more natural than using digital stabilization like the HyperSmooth 3.0 on the GoPro HERO9. Reason number two is the crop. So when you activate HyperSmooth 3.0 on the GoPro HERO9, the camera crops in a little bit, about 10% or so, and because of that you lose a bit of resolution and a bit of the super wide field of view. So if you want to get the most amount of resolution and the widest field of view possible, and at the same time have the best image stabilization possible, definitely use a gimbal. And the final reason, ND filters. I've already made a video where I showed you that ND filters significantly decrease the HyperSmooth stabilization quality on the GoPro. If you want to watch that video, I'm going to leave a link up here. So if you want to use ND filters for the motion blur effect with your GoPro and at the same time get great image stabilization, definitely use a gimbal because it's going to look much better than the digital stabilization with ND filters. Alright, and now stabilization comparison time. I want to show you a couple of side-by-side clips. On one side, GoPro HyperSmooth, no gimbal, and on the other side, GoPro HyperSmooth turned off and with the INKEE Falcon gimbal. So which one stabilizes the footage better, GoPro with the HyperSmooth or GoPro with the gimbal? Let me know down below. I think both of them are doing a great job. 95% of people, including myself, would be more than happy with just using the built-in stabilization in the GoPro. But if you want to have the widest field of view and you want to have the most amount of resolution and you're using ND filters a lot with your GoPro, then definitely consider getting a gimbal for yourself. I highly recommend this one from INKEE, the INKEE Falcon. It's great, super compact, easy to use, and the stabilization is really great. Thanks for watching.